welcome back. Educating the people is what we're doing. We are educating the people. And I hope people didn't stop listening when they heard me break out calculus and you break out parabolic as far as the real estate market goes. But so again, we're here with Nick Glant and Steve Curran from Northwest Group, and you guys are actually launching an entire platform towards education. NWGmarketadvance.com. Talk a little bit about what that is and what your hope is for it.
Well, one of the things that when I was meeting with Steve in our recruitment process was that we both had a passion for educating our clients so that our clients were the most savvy clients in the business. We want to have clients that are in the know beyond everyone else so that they're in a position to be successful. And we shared that passion about making sure they're always well-versed with what's going on in the market around them, specifically in their areas and also just in the Seattle area, the Puget Sound area, just so they can get a little bit of a macro overview and a really, really specific micro overview. And so we've been able to put together a platform that Steve and I, individually have been thinking about for years, and finally we're able to put it together and come up with a platform called NWG Market Advanced. So it's a series of, it incorporates some social media, but it's basically centered around a blog called NWGmarketadvance.com. And Steve is our lead author. Quite frankly, he's putting about 90% of our content in there right now and putting together, and I'll let him talk about it, but it's great information that's really specific. It's real information. It's not what is self-serving for us to sell homes. It's for our clients to understand what's going on. So.
And the goal is, like Nick said...
Steve, let's talk to you. You're doing all the content.
Yeah, he's the man to talk to on this. He's the brains behind it. We just slapped a logo on it.
It was only 90%? I thought it was higher.
It's probably 95%. I got a couple I need to post.
So what are you writing about?
It's a variety of topics, surrounding our local market, the national market, the mortgage market as well, job market. There's no shortage of topics to discuss and write about, which is one thing that we've really enjoyed. That our original goal was to have 1 to 2 items out a week, and we're at the point where we've often got a backlog where we're getting as many as 3 or 4 out. Whether it's things that we're seeing, whether it's from our local MLS with monthly statistical updates, charts, numbers, facts, figures, also to articles of notes, of different things relative to the current trends and what we're seeing on the ground as well.
For instance, one of the posts is a little, just more out there. There was a post that he put together about gas prices impacting, home prices, and the increase in that, and how it's going to affect, the centralization of commutes even more so, and how it may impact and hurt pricing across the board on homes. And so, just kind of looking at all these different things that could affect the market and how it applies to our situation, and so. We're always looking for ways to creatively, show that information. And then when you put the charts and statistics to it, our clients really are, when you can paint the picture, they really can understand, okay, wow, we're in a market right now where most of the areas we're in are inverted with regard to how many homes are active, how many homes are selling. And if you can paint that picture for them, they have a better grasp of what's going on in the market. And so that's what this has helped us do a little bit more versus just kind of throwing out a bunch of emails to our clients.
Yeah, so throwing out a bunch of emails, I guess, is a way to do it. But giving people, access to all the information that you guys are aware of, I guess, is even bigger.
Yeah. And it's a way with the blog platform, you can also communicate in real time. Whether it's, almost with daily updates 2-3 times a week, and that information gets out. And with that platform, there's a number of different ways and pieces that we can communicate with.
And we're encouraging participation too. I mean, that's versus just shooting out a bunch of emails. You don't get a lot of participation back from that. What we want from this avenue is that people can comment. People can say, "Hey, my situation's different. I experienced something different. So I don't know if you guys are really, seeing it." And we can see what their feedback is from their market and be able to adapt and make sure the communications that we're giving to people is what they want to see as far as the way that the information is provided, so it makes sense to them.
And one of the themes that we've picked up on from whether it's just our clients or people in the community or the meetings that we go on daily and weekly, there's so many tools out there for information that it almost gets to be a little bit confusing for some people. They don't know what resources to go to, what resources to trust, how to make sense of all of the information that they're receiving, and it's trying to break that down in a format that's, pretty straightforward and easy to understand, but then also offer the ability to interact and have dialogue around specific topics.
And so when you talk about all these specific topics, this is what I find that a lot of people don't understand. Is you talked about jobs, you talked about rents, you talked about mortgage, you talked about all these different factors, and that's what actually drives the housing market. I mean, house prices are really, they're a product of supply and demand, of all these other factors. And I mean, to bring that to light, I think is probably gives you lots of content, but to be able to funnel all that information into why house prices are doing what they're doing is extremely valuable.
Well, and like you said, at its core, it all comes down to supply and demand. And there's a number of factors that are influencing supply and demand, confidence, what the local economy is or is not doing, and that's something that we try to, dig into as well in terms of what's going on, trends, whether it's Seattle, the east side, North King County, South King County, all the different influences that we're seeing, and then also breaking it down in terms of from a statistical analysis standpoint with the monthly stats and graphs, basically saying, okay, here is the supply and demand. Absorption is pointing up or pointing down. It's not all that dissimilar.
It sounds like one of those stock buying things. Is the green arrows pointing up?
Right. Yeah. And we want to help people decipher again, to the point of there's so much information out there. We want people to be able to have a one stop where they can feel trust and they know that the information they're getting here is real. It's not positive article after positive article after positive article to, try to sell homes. It's trying to make sure that our clients are going to make the right decision while other people may or may not.
So why would somebody go to this versus, I mean, like you said, there's tons of different avenues out there of information. You could name half of them. And if we sat here, we'd probably name 10 of them.
Yeah.
What's the draw to go to NWG Market Advance versus, say, going to Zillow or going to these?
I think it's personalization. We're not a report for the masses. We're a report for our clients, and our client roster obviously isn't a growth pattern, and we're gaining market share. But we're not trying to compete with information sources like CNN Money or anything like that. We're literally trying to provide almost a semi-private avenue for our clients to go and forum about what's going on in the market, so that we as a group are educated together. So it really is coming back from the trust we've built with our clients over the past 10 years and then saying, now we've got more of a platform versus just in the car when we have coffee together. This is more information that you can get on a daily basis from us.
And so when this comes out, I mean, this is something you expect people to maybe not only come read in, but as you said, to have discussions as a forum, like a chat room.
It's amazing how many people have already started to respond to it. I mean, we've only been doing this for about 4 weeks, and we've had, probably over 200 people sign up to get the information sent to them, not just check it every once in a while, to sign up to make sure they get the auto alerts. We get a lot of people that are checking every post, and to see that is really interesting. It just shows that people really want this information, so they make a educated decision. Even if they're thinking 3 to 5 years down the road, they want to know what's happening now, because with homes, it's always around us. It's always on our mind. It always comes up at the cocktail party, and they want it, and they want that information. So it's cool to see that it's received so well, and Steve's done a great job with it. So
95% of the content.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've done a poor job with my 5%.
I'm sure.
I wasn't going to say anything.
So is there some humor on there too? You guys razz each other or no?
We're working on that. We've got a couple people in the office who are going to add a fun button to it, where there's a little bit more, because some of our readers are going to want to hear more about decoration tips and things that are a little bit more on the fluffy side. And we understand that. We get a little serious sometimes because we're kind of nerdy when it comes to real estate data and statistics. And so we're working in the fun aspect to it too. So we have a couple people in the office who are going to take focus on some things that can help liven it up in that way. So it's a work in progress.
Well, I'm sure they'll do a great job. You have funny people in your office.
We certainly do.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys have. I mean, you guys always have a great group of interns. I'm sure they can provide some good comic relief as well. I mean, right? The interns always do.
They always teach us what's going on with social media more than anything.
That's true. Yeah. They know how to work it.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us again. Nick Glant and Steve Curran of NWG Real Estate. And if you want to learn more about the information they're providing on the local real estate market, you can do that at nwgmarketadvance.com. When we come back, Steve and Nick are going to join us. Jeff Kep's coming back. And you know who else is? Heather Moore to start asking some questions and the red flags you may see in the future. My name is Ben Brashen. You're listening to Brashenomics.